One particularly fiery member of Congress struggled mightily as her body rejected the unity theme as though it were transplanted like a monkey heart.
Some of the extreme members of the Republican Party from gaslighting the American public about the cause of the storm, with Marjorie Taylor Greene tweeting, and I quote, "Yes, they control the weather. It's ridiculous for anyone to lie and say it can't be done." So, Marjorie, who are they? Who are the they you are referring to? Exactly. Democrats? Jewish space lasers? Who knows? The fact that a current member of Congress puts something like that out in public, you should be ashamed of yourself, Marjorie. You need to go home and sit in the closet and check yourself.
She knows she's making that noise, right?
You have these individuals who want to go out and deliberately put out misinformation. So, for example, you have FEMA now having to warn of misinformation, having to launch a rumor response page on their website so that people will get the fact. What the hell's wrong with these people? I mean, these aren't the same people that you and I worked with over these many years. I just don't. I mean, in a national tragedy, you love Donald Trump so much that you're going to parrot that kind of crazy out there and promote conspiracy, which, quite frankly, could wind up having people hurt and harmed, not getting the resources and the help they need because they're following Donald Trump and Marjorie Taylor Greene stupid down a rabbit hole?
Yeah, it's very clear to me. Republicans are not sending their best and brightest to Washington anymore. It is unimaginable to me that at a time when so many of our fellow Americans are suffering, going through probably the worst experience of their lives right now, and what do these politicians decide to do? Politicize it. And what does Donald Trump try to do? Spread lies about it. He was saying that the governor of Georgia, Brian Kemp, couldn't get in touch with Joe Biden. The governor said that wasn't true, that Biden offered him anything that his state needed. Now Trump is out there saying that FEMA, they don't have enough money for relief for the victims of the hurricane because they were using that money on undocumented immigrants. Right. And the crazy is that Washington posted a fact check, and it was actually Donald Trump during his administration who is taking money from FEMA in the relief fund to use on undocumented immigrants, not the Biden administration.
I'm glad you brought that up because, Valencia, when you look at that, you had Trump initially refused to approve disaster aid for California after deadly fires in 2018 because of the state's Democratic leanings, an ex-aide told Politico, adding that Trump changed his mind after Harvey pulled voting results to show him that the heavily damaged Orange County, California, had more Trump supporters than the entire state of Iowa. At that point, Donald Trump was, okay, then we can put some aid in there.
I mean, if there's anyone clearly having a pattern of making this about politics, it is Donald Trump. And it's extremely frustrating. Over 200 Americans have been dead and have been found dead and counting, right? These are families. People have lost their entire livelihoods, right? Like they can't go back into their homes. And the other piece of this is I just continue to have that image of Donald Trump in contrast to, in moments like this, we are looking for a comforter in chief, right? Someone that can literally go anywhere, red state, blue state, and literally be there to say, I am here with you. Donald Trump was in Puerto Rico tossing paper towels at people, right? And I remember when, we laughed at it because it was crazy, but it's so inhumane. Yeah. And for this man to come out and lie, but then the other sad piece of this is that there are so many people who believe what he says versus the numerous fact checks that are out there by actual credible journalists. So in addition to the Republican Party having to rebuild itself once, they get through Trump, we also have to sow more trust in actual facts in journalism in this country after him, because there is no reason that we are disputing these facts when Brian Kemp is literally on air saying we missed each other's phone call, but we eventually start talking to each other.
Do you know what we're here for? You know we're here about AG.
I don't think you know what you're here for.
Well, you the one talking about. I
think your fake eyelashes are messing up.
No, ain't nothing.
Hold on.
Listen.
Order.
I do have a point of order, and I would like to move to take down Ms. Greene's words. That is absolutely unacceptable. How dare you attack the physical appearance of another person?
Are your feelings hurt?
Her words down.
Aw.
Oh, girl, baby girl.
Oh, really?
Don't even play.
Baby girl? I don't think
we are going to move, and we're going to take your words down.
I second that motion.
I'm just curious, just to better understand your ruling, if someone on this committee then starts talking about somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body, that would not be engaging in personalities, correct?
A what now?
Chairman, I make a motion to strike those words.
I don't think that's a
I'm
parliament.
trying to find clarification on what qualifies.
Chairman, motion to strike
I had no
those
idea
words.
what you just said.
We're not gonna do this. Look, you guys earlier literally just
You just voted to do
Y'all did
it.
it first, so you don't want to talk about
voted to do it.
Order.
I'm trying to get clarification.
Look at calm down. Calm down.
No, because this
I
is
would
what
like to
y'all
get
do.
through proceedings.
So I'm trying to get
Ms.
clarification.
Crockett, you're not
Y'all wanna
recognized.
play
Ms.
games?
Crockett.
I can't hear you with your
And
yelling.
you don't want me
Calm
to
down.
Be,
Will you please calm down?
Don't tell me to calm down.
Calm down.
Because y'all
Please
talk
calm
noise,
down.
and then you
You're
can't
out of
take
control.
Because if I
Look,
come,
Chairman,
if I
can
come
we
and
send
talk
take a
about
break
her,
for 5
y'all
minutes?
gonna have a
Mr.
problem.
Chairman, Mr.
Order.
Chairman.
All right, Chair.
I don't know why
Okay.
you're acting
Chair
like
now
that.
recognizes.
It seems we're diving into some pretty wild marketing tactics. Taylor Greene has swapped her tinfoil hat for what she calls Doppler radar. Yes, you heard that right. She claims hurricanes are not just natural disasters anymore. With a serious expression, Greene suggested that Hurricane Helen was somehow planned by a powerful group. While most of us were checking the weather app, she was busy with her conspiracy theories. In a post on X, formerly Twitter, she boldly stated that people can control the weather, causing a whirlwind of confusion that matched the intensity of the storm she talked about. But who exactly are these weather controllers? Is it the Illuminati, some secretive group at the DNC, or perhaps a group of sneaky meteorologists trying to ruin your weekend plans? Greene's explanations are vague, which is common when pushing sensational ideas. Conspiracy enthusiasts quickly recognize that when certain politicians use mysterious terms, it often signals a troubling narrative. In this case, it echoes anti-Semitic themes, which Greene has surprisingly hinted at in the past. Before we get too lost in this storm of conspiracy, let's take a moment to unpack Greene's reasoning. Forget everything you learned in science class about hurricanes being caused by temperature differences in ocean currents. In Taylor Greene's view, weather is as controllable as the thermostat in your office. According to her, hurricanes are manipulated by Democrats to suppress Republican votes. Yes, she claims a Category 4 storm might just be a tactic to keep voters away. Forget gerrymandering. She believes natural disasters are the new strategy. While this might sound like a ridiculous twist in a bad political movie, Greene is completely serious. She even presented what can only be described as a terrible piece of evidence, a map showing the areas affected by Hurricane Helen and their alignment with electoral districts. Her theory is that Democrats created the storm to target Republican strongholds, implying that while Mother Nature was brewing the storm, Nancy Pelosi was secretly plotting over a cauldron of storm clouds, cursing swing states. Greene's approach mirrors that of former President Trump, who exaggerated disasters to gain political leverage. Trump previously accused the Biden administration of neglecting Republican areas during federal disaster responses. Ironically, he was the only president to withhold disaster aid for political reasons, notably in 2018 after wildfires in California. He reportedly blocked assistance until polling data showed how many Californians had voted for him. Greene's theory is more of a detached fantasy than a conspiracy. If Democrats really could control the weather, you'd think they would have used that power to influence the 2016 election instead of waiting for a 2024 hurricane. If they're brewing storms for votes, DNC strategists must be in it for the long haul. While Greene's hurricane theory might seem absurd, the underlying issues it raises are serious. Conspiracy theories like this undermine trust in government, science, and truth itself. When political leaders blame natural disasters on hidden groups instead of focusing on real climate issues, they distract from necessary action for the next hurricane. Perhaps Greene should spend less time crafting conspiracy maps and more time learning about disaster preparedness, or better yet, consult a climate scientist. But why deal with real issues when it's easier to blame the weather on Democrats? If she starts claiming snowstorms are a ploy to sell more winter coats, we'll know we're in for a wave of nonsense.